Hello, lovely people out there. How are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, and I'm here as always to give you the best unbiased and honest commentary about our property markets, along with some really awesome hints and tips. As always, stay tuned. Okay, so picture the scene. There are always times during our property market cycles when the markets are rising and a growing number of property owners start making a really good return. Property market booms can be driven by owner-occupiers and investors. Now, in my experience, the surge of investors that enter the market often comes just at that part of the cycle when things are about to flatline. The upswing has happened. They've all had that social proof that, yes, the property market is increasing in value, it's safe. They read the plethora of media stories about rising and unaffordable property prices, and that is exactly when they decide they need to act immediately, unless they miss the boat. Now, this is generally those people who have not usually invested in property before, outside maybe their own home, that is, or those who have just never bought a property at all. Now, I'm the first one to say that it is always a good time to invest in property. Regardless of the stage of the market cycle, there'll always be somewhere that is good to buy because different areas are doing different things for different reasons, right? Remember, I have said this before. If you are motivated by a fear of missing out, then you also have the most potential to make mistakes when it comes to asset and location selection, because you are feeling that fear, that FOMO. Now, real estate is a very forgiving asset class. Most property will grow eventually, but making a significant blunder on your first investment property purchase can set your wealth creation goals back by years. Now, I know, I've done it. You can see my recent video. Okay, so with this in mind, here are 3 common investor mistakes that should always be avoided. Number 1, not having a clear investment strategy. I love this one. So a lot of people just leap on out there, buy a property close to where you live. You know the area, right? It'll be fine. Don't do it. It's imperative that you have a clear investment strategy on what you want to achieve. And that's different for every one of us. So, for example, younger people have plenty of time on their hands to create a portfolio as well as property wealth. They've got their best earning potential ahead of them, or they might be right in the middle of it when they are buying. But people in their 40s and 50s only have 1 or maybe 2 market cycles before retirement for their portfolio to work its compounding growth magic and change their financial futures. And they tend to have quite different risk profiles. So likewise, some investors require properties with a stronger cash flow potential than other investors. And because of their salaries maybe that they earn, and again, because of their risk profile. So these are just a couple of considerations that every investor needs to understand before they purchase their first investment property, or in fact, any investment property. It might be the 3rd. But it highlights the importance of having a clear investment strategy. You need to talk to professionals about this. And I know this might sound like self-serving and in self-interest, but I have seen many, many people make this mistake. Don't be afraid to pay for good and personalized advice. Number 2, not buying strategically. Another mistake that some investors make is not being strategic with their asset or location selections. So as I've just suggested in number 1, unfortunately many of you can be quite blinkered to the potential of property markets in areas other than your own. And this can reduce the opportunities to maximize capital growth over the years. It can also stop you investing full stop if you can't afford it. Buying in another city or maybe interstate even can be a solid investment strategy for an investor who wants to diversify and make the most of differing market conditions, as well as potentially more affordable property prices. If you live in a city, a big city where property prices are expensive, and you have that mentality of needing to buy where you live and you can't afford it, then you're less likely to be able to do it. You might think that you need to save enough money to be able to buy in that city. But what if that's not the right thing for you to do? Or what if that property market isn't the right location for you? Buying elsewhere, it does require skill, it requires experience and local networks, which are not attributes that many investors usually have in their toolkits. And who's got the time for all that, right? So again, don't be put off by paying for strategic advice. Buying the wrong property in the wrong location can cost you dearly. Just like buying the right property in the right location can make you a lot of money over time and totally change your financial future. Number 3, not working with an expert team. So all of that now brings me to number 3, the big one. One of the big differences between successful investors and unsuccessful ones is the use and creation of an expert team. Think about this. If you have a more serious medical problem or a health issue, think about what you would do. Would you diagnose and treat yourself? Would you perform surgery on yourself or even ask a friend to do it? Of course you wouldn't. You'd put an expert medical professional in charge, right? If you had a legal issue or you had to go to court for some reason, would you use someone who simply looked slick, had a glossy brochure, promised you great successes? Would you ask a friend to help you? Of course you wouldn't. You would employ an actual lawyer with qualifications and experience to help you navigate the intricacies of the legal system. And yet, year in and year out, property buyers who are making huge decisions that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, put their financial futures in the hands of well-meaning friends, well-meaning but not experts. They get stung by spruikers or pay really hard-earned money to an alleged advocate with great marketing material, but nothing that actually qualifies them to buy you a great property. So, savvy investors recognize the value of creating a team of genuine experts, not an armchair expert, not someone you've spoken to at your mate's barbecue, but genuine experts who can help you purchase strategically every single time. This expert team would usually include a qualified property investment advisor, a mortgage broker, a conveyancer, an accountant, a buyer's agent, and a property manager. By gathering a team of experts around you, you honestly will go a long way to ensure that you are creating a strategic property portfolio primed for superior performance over the years ahead. It also massively reduces the risk of making some of these common mistakes, such as buying in the wrong location or investing in an inferior dwelling type, and that many investors often make. Now, I am giving you the best commentary and content here on this channel, so please let me ask you to just quickly hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, so that you get all our expert hints and tips around buying, owning, and investing in property. If you are enjoying the free content, hit that like button too. I really appreciate it, and I will see you really soon. Bye.